We all want to win, make money, be successful, do amazing things, but not enough people talk about embracing being a loser. And in the world of trading, I think that being a loser is one of the most important parts of the longevity that you will have. As someone that has been in the game for some time and has seen a lot of successful people, a lot of people who have failed, have personally been through a lot of failures myself, seen some success, seen the failures, felt the wins, felt the losses, and then have had a pretty consistent run for a longer period of time, more so over the past 1.5 to 2 years. I really believe that becoming a good loser is important. But it's not just becoming a good loser, it's embracing the losing streaks. It's embracing the drawdown and understanding what it really is. So if you stick with me here for just a few minutes, I'm going to hopefully explain why it's important to embrace losing, embracing the losses and the losing streaks, and how you can utilize that to your benefit. First, I want to start with a pretty big misconception. People talk about emotions, and in the world of trading, you've probably heard you gotta kick your emotions to the curb. No emotions, we cannot be trading with emotion. And while to a degree there is validity to that statement, kicking your emotions to the curb completely is not possible. We are human beings. It is not possible to do that. And I'm being serious. As someone who myself is pretty unemotional, many people would say who know me, I don't express too many emotions. I definitely still feel it. I just may not show it to people around me. And I think there's a lot of people that fit that same mold. But when you do feel it, those are not things that are necessarily bad. It's what you do when you feel those emotions that could lead to bad decisions. That's what we want to get rid of and kick those things to the curb. But it's not like kicking the emotions and saying, hey, because you have emotions, you can't be a trader. That's not what we're talking about here. It's understanding that when I'm losing, when I have XYZ emotions, what do I do? Like, what am I doing? Or can I tie these emotions to positive or negative performance? It's when you take a step back and understand, hey, I have emotions just like everybody else. When I can recognize I am feeling an emotion, and then I can tie that to prior performance being positive or negative, I can now utilize that as an edge in my own trading. And so tracking your emotions through losing streaks is probably one of the most important things you can do, because you might find that, hey, every time I'm really sad or I have a fight with my significant other, friend, or family member, or I lose a game, or I miss something at work and there's some repercussions, I find that leads into my trading and bleeds into my trading so that I make bad decisions because I'm not in the right headspace to approach the markets completely objectively. The next reason why I think you should be embracing the losing streaks is because you need to know the worst case scenarios. And some of that I just went through recently myself, which I want to expand upon. But first, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Ironbeam.
Welcome to Ironbeam, the future of futures trading. With our cutting-edge chart trading feature and 300+ indicators, you can now trade directly off the chart anytime, anywhere. Delivering seamless trading across all platforms, the Ironbeam journey is supported by 24-hour trader support, low day trade margins, and no account minimums. Ironbeam brings the future into the present. Join now and augment your trading experience.
How many trades could you lose in a row? Well, in theory, you could lose an infinite number of trades in a row. It's possible, not very likely. But when you go through losing streaks, they're actually going to be very beneficial for you later on down the road, because you'll know, hey, last time I went through this losing streak, I lost 6 in a row, or I lost 6 out of 10, or I lost 6 out of 8, whatever the numbers may be. The more losing streaks and losing runs that you go on, the more data that you're going to have for your strategy that tells you, okay, hey, we could lose 9 in a row. That's actually my stats. Tracking the strategy that I trade for the past 18 months or so now, the worst losing streak that I have had was 9 trades in a row red. 9 in a row. Now, why that's important is because when I size on my own personal account, or if I was to be trading a prop firm, which I'm testing out and trading some prop firms right now just to kind of test the waters in that space. If I'm trading those prop firms, I have drawdown requirements, right? So I need to make sure that I could go through 9 losing trades in a row and not hit the max total drawdown. Some people will say that's not a good way to trade. Some will say it's great. I don't care. That's what I do. That's what works for me. It kind of just makes logical sense. But if I didn't have the data and I didn't go through enough losing streaks, I wouldn't know. And so I could potentially put myself in jeopardy of losing an account or sizing too large and losing too much money and then going through a spiral because I didn't know what my worst case scenario could be. No, it could be worse, right? But I didn't know what my worst case scenario likely could be. Building off that, no one is immune. We've talked about this in the past, but no matter how long you've been doing it, you're not immune. I personally had felt pretty good about my strategy, felt pretty good going into a period of time that I know I don't necessarily do very, very well. However, I was like, I'm so much better than I was a year, 2 years ago. I have a better strategy. I got a proven track record with the strategy. I'm going to keep trading the strategy. The market doesn't give a shit. The market doesn't care. The market's going to do what the market does. And so you are not immune. You could go through drawdown and go through big losing streaks at any point, no matter how long you've been doing it. It's how you manage those, how much you lose during those, and how much you let it affect you elsewhere that ultimately is what will lead to your success or failure. Drawdown is not only for people who don't know what they're doing. Drawdown happens to everyone, and it's how you manage that drawdown. Because when you become a really good loser, you don't need to be as great of a winner to make up for it. Meaning, if you know how to lose, and lose small, and lose in a way that fits your strategy and fits the big picture of what you're doing, you're not going to require yourself to have a 90% win rate, to have a 5-to-1 R, meaning I risk 1 to make 5. Like, you don't need those things to be profitable in the long term if you've become a really good loser and you know how to lose. Everyone's going to have their own strategy, their own way to look at things, but becoming really good at losing, I think, and being okay with that mentally and saying, hey, it's part of the game, is going to set you up massively going forward. Hope was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I'll leave links and resources to the sponsor below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.